Alright, here we go. Got another take. Ready to go. Because I don't know how many times it's going to take for me to get this right. But hopefully this is the one. I am not a YouTuber. I have made YouTube videos before, and most of them suck. Most of them are mainly just clips of me and some friends playing some game like Lethal Company. But I'm making this video now. For a very important reason, which is I am an artist and I need to start seeding the foundation that is very much necessary if I want to turn my art into something special one day. And I believe that YouTube is a very good place to start. You know, I might see what I can do on Instagram or something like that, because I know other platforms can be better for discoverability, and maybe I can bring a bit more of an audience from there to YouTube and then to my work, if people are interested, I guess. Ugh. But fuck, man, this is not something I'm very good at. But the idea is to start now. Hopefully, intentionally, I will be refining it as I go. And one day it can turn into something good. But otherwise, hi. I'm an artist, maybe like you, and perhaps also like you. Most people do not know I'm an artist. It's not exactly my defining trait. It's not extremely prevalent when I'm walking about, and that's okay. But there is a problem that I need to solve, which is that I want my work to be seen, and I want it to be known by people. I don't necessarily want to be the next Brandon Sanderson. I don't need to be the next J.R.R. Tolkien. I do want to be known to a degree. I want to cultivate some kind of audience, I suppose, is the right term. And I want to be able to give something to a group of people who will look at my work as something that they can indulge on. And it feels really weird to put it that way. Because I think most of this stuff is just in my head. Most of these desires, if you would, are just things that come and go in my brain in the middle of all of the brainstorming I do or prose work I'm doing for the current draft of the thing I'm working on. Which right now I'm working on a book. I'm working on volume 2 of a book series that I've started. A few months back, I published the first one, and I am trying to use it as a medium not only to tell some fun stories that I think are neat, but also just to improve my capability as a writer, specifically in the fantasy scene. I do like science fiction as well, but right now I'm focusing on my fantasy work. That being said, I need to overcome a very, very prevalent fear, which is the fear of doing the work to get myself seen. And I'll tell you why I have this fear. It's because I'm a bit of a recluse. I'm not the most extroverted type of person, but I'm also not the most introverted type. I consider myself amicable. I don't know, maybe if you meet me in real life one day, you'll go and tell all your friends that guy's a lying piece of shit and you should not trust him. But I think otherwise. And isn't that really what's important? I don't know what I'm saying, man. While I have my work and while I am trying to hone my craft And while it is very special and important to me, I know that I'm not going to be satisfied with just a couple of friends and family being the only people who will ever lay eyes upon it. I have a yearning for more. I want more. I want to know that I can create work that resonates with other people and that people can enjoy. And yeah, part of it absolutely comes down to whether or not I can just create work in the first place, which I believe right now I am proving to myself that I can. But I worry more about it not going anywhere. Because even though I can feel rather fulfilled by creating elaborate stories and, fun narratives with a bunch of characters who are all going on their own little journeys, while I enjoy that, there is something more to it than that. There's a reason why I started writing in the first place, which was because I was inspired by other writers. Not necessarily in a traditional sense. I've always been more inspired by writing in say video games as a prime example. I've always loved how craft creates the experience that you might have, say, the immersion of walking in a world like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something, or Dead Space, or I don't know, Halo even, right? I've always appreciated the work that has to go behind cultivating something like that, and that's what started me on the writing path in the first place. Well, that and a very encouraging English teacher in my freshman year of high school, who got me to embrace the creative side of my brain. And while I don't consider myself the most creative person, I do consider myself someone who appreciates the ability to make something that's fun and something that is worth thinking about. And while I'm not entirely sure if I'm quite there yet, I am sure that I want to get there. And I am absolutely sure that one day I will be there. Because writing is not something I will be giving up anytime soon. In fact, I very well may be taking it to my grave. It's something I've come to really enjoy and love. And I want to experience it with other people. In effect, what I'm asking for is a really big fucking writer's workshop where the internet is my workshop. Not necessarily. Really, all I'm interested in is just getting perspectives other than my own, looking at the work and seeing where it takes other people, seeing what experiences it can create for other people. I think that's one of the greatest beauties of art. But in order to do that, I have to conquer the fear of doing the other kind of work that I've come to realize is very integral with art. Specifically, if you want your art to go somewhere. And that is discoverability. God's gift to mankind was not our ability to communicate words on a paper. No. It was the challenge of raising your voice in a chorus that acts as if you don't exist. Because that's truly what it is. The moment you become an artist who has published any kind of work, you are nobody. You are nothing. You do not exist. Because frankly, nobody cares yet. And that's the important part. Yet. And you need to find a way, I need to find a way to make it so that people can care. And part of that process, well, the art includes that as part of the process. It is up to you as the artist to lay the foundation, to cultivate that space for other people to be able to see your work and for other people to discover your work. Because I think truly the hardest part of discoverability, and I know this might sound generic as fuck, is the initial stage of becoming something that exists. And it's not as simple as just you click publish, or you click create, or you click export, whatever the hell the YouTube button is. I'll remember that in a moment. It's really getting your first bit of fame, I guess, is that first lick of attention. Ooh, I don't like that analogy. In truth, it's really that. And because I fear hearing my own voice, and because I don't enjoy listening to myself speak or listening to myself go on these huge tirades about my ambitions or my intents or my opinions and perspectives on anything, I think it is a more daunting challenge than can I become a good writer? Because that's a question that I have wrestled with for years already, and I have grown more and more in confidence that I can answer that positively. But this is a completely different beast. And hopefully, I'm up for the task. And if not, well, whatever. It's not like this video's gonna go anywhere. Anyway, I don't imagine I'll be making more videos quite like this one. This one is a bit more esoteric, maybe a bit pretentious and philosophical. I would rather make videos on things that I really enjoy, such as video games or storytelling, duh. But I felt it very important to take this first step into developing something that can evolve. That's really all I got. Thank you for listening or watching, whichever one. Whoever you are, thank you for your time. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.